Welcome to the U.S. Great News Channel. Watch the video to the end for current and breaking news about the Russian war in Ukraine. The Ukrainian army has defeated the BMP-1 concentration of the Russian army in the Donetsk region. They shot down 7 BMP-1 infantry fighting vehicles at the same time in the area of the village of Vodian. Private Danilo Mujahid Lyashuk presents the combat operations of the Ukrainian forces. Danilo Lyashuk, 59. He said that the motorized brigade shot the Russians. The bombing of Russian armored vehicles was organized by Ukrainian aircraft. During the war, BMP-1 armored vehicles with typical Russian markings were inactivated. Part of the Russian army was also liquidated near infantry fighting vehicles. The Russian army could probably attack the Ukrainian positions towards Avdiivka. Russian attacks on Ukrainian positions in the direction of Avdiivka continue incessantly. The head of the military-civilian administration of Avdiivka, Vitaly Barabash, said that their intensity decays from 5 to 40 attacks per day. According to the official information of the General of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, the Russians are conducting offensive operations against Bakhmut and Avdiivka and are experiencing serious manpower losses. Russian media reported that a massive attack with ammunition was carried out on a military training area where mobilized servicemen of the Russian armed forces were training. NIPTYSK reported. This training area is located 100 kilometers from the front line. Russia claims that its air defense has successfully shot down 7 UAVs. Another unidentified unmanned aerial vehicle reached the target, but did not cause significant damage. According to previous reports, these drones were used to attack Russian military facilities. On December 7th, Russian media published an image of kamikaze unmanned aerial vehicles, which they said were used by the Ukrainian armed forces to attack Russian airfields. The Russians claimed that the unmanned aerial vehicle's warhead, weighing about 2 kilograms, consists of explosives and usable impact elements consisting of nails and metal bearings. The explosive itself is made of plastic, and its color is silvery, which is characteristic of aluminum powder alloys. It is believed that the explosive device used a mixture of TNT and aluminum powder, which is widely available in the mining industry. These factors point to the artisanal production of the UAVs in question. After receiving information from the controller, the HEX Pixhawk 2.1 cube orange warhead is detonated while approaching the target. The UAV is designed with an electric motor with a motor battery and an auxiliary battery to reduce the useful load. The design assumes a catapult launch. The UAV flies according to the coordinates without a radio channel or operator. The German company Hensoldt is supplying new air defense radars TRML-D to Ukraine. 2 more TRML-4D radars were delivered to Ukraine to strengthen its air defense. The company announced that 2 radars will be delivered within the next 3 months as part of a 2-digit million euro order. It was also noted that Hensoldt company signed a contract for the purchase of 4 TRML-4D radars for the production of the German air defense system IRIS-T SLM and its delivery to Ukraine at the beginning of this year. This contract is not due to the excellent operational results achieved after the introduction of the TRML-4D radar into the country, which will strengthen Ukraine's defense capabilities, said Thomas Mueller, CEO of Hensoldt. The first TRML-4D universal radar arrived in Ukraine in October 2022. Mueller, Ukraine's air defense radars are significantly it is saving lives, and we are proud that we were able to deliver the much-needed equipment soon, he said. The TRML-4D is a medium-range mobile universal C-band radar developed in 2018 using an active electronically scanned array, AESA, based on solid-state gallium nitride, GaN, cells. It is the main sensor component of the IRIS-T SLM SAM battery. The radar is capable of detecting, tracking, and detecting various air targets, including small, fast, low-flying, and cruise missiles. According to the developer, the radar can simultaneously detect and track up to 1,500 different air targets at a distance of 0.01 to 250 kilometers with a maximum detection altitude of 30 kilometers. Enemy fighter aircraft can be tracked up to 150 kilometers and hypersonic missiles up to 60 kilometers. The timeline of the training of Patriot missiles has now been announced. Ukrainian Defense Minister Oleksiy Reznikov discussed the training requirements for operators of U.S. Patriot air defense missile systems during a meeting with representatives of critical infrastructure. Army Inform reported. Reznikov noted that the American partners undertook to train Ukrainian officers within 10 weeks. We could not even imagine what was offered to us. Let's say $1 billion Patriot and 10 months of preparation would have been the minimum. It was decided today that our officers will retire in 10 weeks. American partners have made such commitments, he said. Earlier, on January 16th, the Ukrainian military arrived in the United States to begin taking control of the American Patriot air defense systems. The exercise will be held at the Fort Sill base in Oklahoma. The U.S. Army will conduct Patriot SAM operations and maintenance exercises here. The first group should have 90 to 100 Ukrainian soldiers. This is the number of personnel required to maintain a Patriot battery of up to 8 launch vehicles and to support equipment and systems. According to rough estimates, if Ukrainian officers start their duties as soon as possible, the completion of the training can be expected by the end of March. Earlier, senior U.S. defense officials announced that the exercise will be conducted on an abbreviated schedule and will last several months. According to Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba in an interview with the Associated Press, Ukrainian soldiers are coming to training faster than ever without reducing the quality of using these weapons on the battlefield. According to the Pentagon, the Patriot system is worth between $450 and $550 million. The price depends on the configuration of the platform. On December 21st, the United States announced new military assistance to Ukraine. This included, in particular, the Patriot anti-aircraft missile system with a missile battery. The Ukrainian-Russian war, the intensity of which has increased even more in recent days, has begun to show its effect more with the developments that have taken place. It is also said that while news about the soldiers is being transmitted from the fronts where millions of people are staring, the systems have collapsed and even fallen. In the recent statements made, it is said that the UAV systems made by Russia in particular have been damaged and they cannot be integrated with the new systems. For this reason, it is stated that the Russian army suffers more and more damage every day it is on the territory of Ukraine. Here are all the curious details about the latest developments in the Ukrainian-Russian war. The Russian army, which is now condemned by many sections for entering the territory of Ukraine as an invader, continues to have bad days on the fronts. The Russian army, which has suffered great blood losses since the first day the war began, has now begun to become famous for the crashing of systems and the deterioration of equipment. In the recent inspections, it was announced that another system has been added to the many unmanned aerial vehicles lost by Russia. In the latest statements made by the authorities, it was said that an unmanned aerial vehicle manufactured by Russia crashed into the ground in the Belgorod region. This situation has left a question mark in the minds of many people who are curious about the system and investigating how the incident developed. According to reports from the Russian army in recent months, it was stated that the army was losing blood and becoming desperate every day. At this point, it was announced that an unmanned aerial vehicle crashed near Belgorod and that this situation was being tried to hide by the Russian authorities. But in recent studies, new information about the accident has also begun to emerge. According to the information announced, the Russian unmanned aerial vehicle, which has just received the news that it crashed, actually exploded on the night of January 11th. This situation was shared with millions of people via Telegram while it was ravaging local social media accounts. Millions of people are now looking forward to the statements to be made by the Russian authorities about the incident. The unmanned aerial vehicle that has now exploded near Belgorod and meant a great deal of damage to the Russian army has also started to be talked about a lot with the panic it caused in the region. At this point, millions of people stated that the explosion situation did not cause any harm to the local people, while different problems arose. According to the latest information announced, there were power outages in the region for a while with the fall of the UAV vehicle. It was stated that while emergency support teams were sent to the region, experts were also sent to solve the power outage. In addition, it was stated that problems occurred in the power lines because of the high voltage that arose during the power outage and that there was a short-scale fire situation in the region. The downing of a Russian unmanned aerial vehicle, which has been shown as one of the most important events of recent days, near the village of Severny near Belgorod, had caused the whole world to be alarmed. Millions of people had testified that they had seen the wreckage of the UAV, which exploded with a big noise near the village. Now images of the explosion and explanations of the moment when it exploded have appeared. In the first images shared on the Telegram platform, we saw a bright light in the sky in the village of Severny at about 23.15 hours, and it suddenly went out in a warm moment. Then a buzz was heard for a long time. I think a bomb fell, statements were used. According to the latest statements taken from eyewitnesses, it is stated that the Russian vehicle exploded with a big noise and light explosion, while the last explanations about the system were also made. According to the claims of many people, it was stated that there was a Russian forepost, RU reconnaissance and combat vehicle in the plane wreckage taken. Several officials who went to the region confirmed that the system is a Russian forepost, RU reconnaissance and combat vehicle. At this point, it was also revealed that the unmanned aerial vehicle was carrying the KAB-20S guided bomb. Therefore, millions of people said that it was a miracle that the bomb did not explode after the UAV fell. The aircraft that crashed near Belgorod, one of the most curious topics of recent times, was now being curiously investigated by everyone. In the recent studies carried out on this subject, the most up-to-date features of the crashed aircraft were also revealed and shared with the entire public. Forepost RU is a missile aircraft developed and manufactured by the government of Russia. It is designed for reconnaissance, tracking and target detection tasks and is used primarily by the Russian armed forces. The drone has a wingspan of 5.2 meters and can fly at a speed of 200. It has a single engine and has a high-resolution optical camera, as well as laser target detection systems. In addition, it is equipped with a satellite navigation system, thereby ensuring its automatic orientation to the target area. The Forepost RU is considered to be an upgrade of the Israel Searcher 2 UAV and has been used abundantly on the Ukrainian fronts recently. Reports have suggested that drones have been used to launch airstrikes against Ukrainian forces and have shown success in inflicting meaningful damage. In addition, the system has been found worthy of praise by the Western and Ukrainian authorities for playing a part in preventing Russian attacks. Please do not forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video to be informed of developments at the speed of light.